Open your banking app right now. Seriously, look at your last paycheck. Do you remember that feeling when the direct deposit hit? It felt good for about, what? 48 hours? You paid the rent or the mortgage? You paid off the credit card that you promised yourself you wouldn't max out this month. You bought a week's worth of groceries that somehow cost 40% more than they did just 3 years ago. And then a week later, you look at the balance. The money is gone. The panic sets in. And you realize you have to wait 21 more days to get injected with the next financial dose just to survive. You played by the rules. You got the degree. You got the safe 9-to-5 job. You probably make more money right now than you did 5 years ago. So why in the hell does it feel like you are one missed paycheck, one flat tire, or one medical bill away from total financial collapse? Welcome to the biggest financial scam of 2026, the illusion of the safe salary. We are taught from the moment we sit in a classroom that a salary is a measure of our value. But mathematically, your salary is not income. It is a pacifier. It is a carefully calculated monthly allowance designed by a system that needs you to be sedated, compliant, and just comfortable enough so you never try to escape. Today, I am going to prove to you that your high-paying, respectable job is actually making you mathematically poorer every single month. We are going to expose the hidden algorithm that is draining your bank account while you sleep. If you are tired of playing a game where the rules change every time you start winning, hit the subscribe button. Because I'm about to show you how to hack the code. Let's talk about subscriptions. 10 years ago, if you wanted to watch a movie, you bought the DVD. You owned it. Now you pay $15 a month for the privilege of accessing it. Software, music, heated seats in your car, everything has become a subscription. The tech industry calls this SaaS, software as a service. But the ultimate subscription model isn't Netflix, it's you. The modern economy has turned your entire existence into a subscription model. Let's call it life as a service. When you get paid, you look at that gross number on your pay stub and you think that money is yours. It's not. Before the deposit even clears the bank, the money is already spoken for. First, the government takes its mandatory 30% subscription fee off the top. You never even saw that money. Then, your landlord or the bank takes another 30% to 40% subscription fee just for the physical space your body occupies when you aren't at work. Then comes the transportation subscription. The average car payment right now is absurd. Add in insurance, maintenance, and gas. You are paying a massive premium purely to transport your physical body to the building where you earn the money to pay for the car. And then we have what I call the sanity subscription. The $7 iced coffees you buy because you didn't sleep enough. The $30 overpriced takeout on Tuesday nights because you are too mentally fried after a 10-hour shift to boil water and chop vegetables. The quick, expensive weekend trips you book out of desperation. This isn't luxury spending. This is the maintenance cost of keeping your brain functioning under the stress of your job. You don't own your life. You are renting it on a 30-day rolling contract. And your employer isn't paying you to build wealth. They are paying you just enough to renew your subscription for one more month so you can show up again on Monday. But it gets worse. Because we don't just misunderstand our money. We drastically misunderstand our time. Let's talk about shadow hours. Your HR contract says you work 40 hours a week. That is a lie. Think about your actual routine. You wake up an hour early to shower, iron a shirt you only wear for work, and make yourself look presentable for your boss. That is unpaid labor. You spend 45 minutes sitting in traffic, stressing out, listening to a podcast just to numb your brain. That is unpaid labor. You sit through a mandatory unpaid lunch hour where you can't go home, you can't take a nap, and you are essentially held hostage by the geographic location of your office. Then you commute another 45 minutes home. When you finally walk through your front door, you are exhausted. You spend the next 2 hours decompressing. You stare at a screen, complain to your partner about your manager, and mentally dread the next day. Those hours belong to the job. The job stole that energy, but they didn't pay you for it. When you add up the grooming, the commuting, the unpaid breaks, and the decompression time, you aren't dedicating 40 hours a week to your employer. You are dedicating 65 to 70 hours. In Silicon Valley, startups don't focus on how much money they have in the bank. They focus on their burn rate, how fast they are burning through cash just to keep the lights on. You need to start treating your life like a startup. Let's look at a typical professional in 2026. We'll call him Alex. Alex makes $90,000 a year. Society tells Alex he is highly successful. He makes more than his parents did at his age. But let's calculate Alex's burn rate. After taxes, that $90,000 is really about $65,000. That's roughly $5,400 a month. Alex pays $2,400 a month for a decent apartment because he wants to live in a safe neighborhood. He pays $600 for his car payment, $500 for groceries, $300 for utilities, internet, and his phone. $500 goes to the minimum payments on his student loans. Before Alex even buys a single coffee, before he goes on a single date, before he buys a birthday gift for his mom, his burn rate is $4,300 a month. He takes home $5,400. That leaves him with $1,100 a month of free cash. Which sounds okay, right? Until his car needs new tires. Or his dog gets sick and needs an $800 vet visit. Or inflation drives the cost of his basic groceries up another 15%. Alex is what venture capitalists call default dead. He is generating a lot of revenue, but his structural baseline costs are so incredibly high that he is mathematically guaranteed to run out of money. He is operating with zero margin for error. When your burn rate equals your income, you are not living. You are surviving inside a highly pressurized financial submarine. And the deeper you go, the more pressure the ocean applies. So, what is the logical solution that society feeds us? We are told to work harder, grind, hustle, get a promotion, increase your salary. Let's say Alex hustles his mind out for 2 years and gets promoted to senior manager. He now makes $115,000. He finally made it, right? He can finally breathe. Wrong. Welcome to the lifestyle inflation trap, or what I call the status tax. With the new title comes new invisible expectations. Alex looks around the office and realizes managers don't drive 5-year-old Hondas. They drive BMWs or Teslas. So he upgrades his car. His payment jumps to $900. He now works 60 hours a week instead of 40, which means he has absolutely zero free time. He pays for convenience at every turn. Uber Eats 4 nights a week, a laundry service. A more expensive all-inclusive vacation because he needs to completely disconnect from the immense stress of his new management role. The promotion was a Trojan horse. He increased his revenue by 20%, but his burn rate increased by 35%. He is processing more money through his checking account, making him feel rich, but he is keeping less of it. He is making $115,000 a year, but mathematically, his profit margins have shrunk. He is actually poorer and closer to bankruptcy than he was when he made $90,000. This is the trap of the safe job. It's a brilliant, insidious mechanism designed to scale your expenses perfectly in line with your income. The corporate world doesn't give you freedom, they give you golden handcuffs. The gold makes you feel rich and successful, but the handcuffs keep you chained to the desk until you are 65 years old. They rely on you being too exhausted to do this math. They rely on you being a passive consumer of your own life. They want you to think, I make good money. So you keep signing the lease on the luxury apartment and financing the luxury SUV, keeping you trapped in the cycle of needing the job to pay for the things you bought to tolerate the job. So how do you break the code? How do you escape the life as a service subscription model? The answer is not to march into your boss's office tomorrow, flip the desk, quit your job, and go live in a van down by the river. We have to be realistic. We have families. We have bills. We live in the real world. You do not escape by asking for a 5% raise. You do it by ruthlessly, violently attacking your burn rate. You have to achieve what physics calls escape velocity. To launch a space shuttle into orbit, it has to burn massive amounts of fuel in the first few minutes just to break Earth's gravitational pull. Once it breaks the atmosphere, it glides. Your current lifestyle expenses are your financial gravity. If you want to escape, you have to drop the dead weight. You need to shift your psychology from being an employee to being a business owner. And the business is you. A smart business owner doesn't just look at gross revenue, they look at profit margins. If a company makes $1 billion but spends $1,000,000,001, it's a terrible company. Step 1. You have to perform a brutal audit of your life. Not when you are exhausted on a Friday night, but on a Sunday morning when your mind is clear. Calculate your true commuting costs. Add up the convenience taxes you pay. Calculate the money you spend decompressing from the trauma of your job. Step 2. Sever the subscriptions. Sell the car you financed purely to impress people you don't even like at work. Downgrade your apartment when your lease is up. Stop buying back your own sanity on the weekends with overpriced drinks and retail therapy. If you need to spend money to recover from your job is too expensive. You have to lower your burn rate so drastically that even a mediocre average salary creates a massive monthly surplus. And step 3, you weaponize that surplus. That money left over is not savings to sit in a bank account losing value to inflation. That surplus is your ammunition. Every dollar you drop from your burn rate is a dollar you can use to buy back your freedom. You take that massive gap between your income and your new, ruthlessly optimized expenses, and you buy income-producing assets. You buy index funds. You buy real estate. You fund a side business. You stop working for the system, and you force the system to work for you. The safe job is only a trap if you spend everything it pays you. If you consume 100% of your salary, you are a slave to the next payday. But if you optimize your burn rate, your job becomes nothing more than a funding mechanism for your escape plan. Use their money to buy your way out of their game. Calculate your burn rate tonight, cut the fat tomorrow, and start buying your freedom. If this math woke you up, if it made you angry, or made you realize you've been playing the wrong game, hit the like button and subscribe. And more importantly, share this video with a friend who looks exhausted. We are all stuck in this same trap, but we can math our way out of it together.